So it's good to have you all here. So Mama, you can take over.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm so grateful to have this chance again to walk through this presentation. My name is Rose Ouko, as Rosie has said, and I can see my daughter-in-law is here. Yvonne, can you just, can see Yvonne, I can see Laura, I can see Peter Mwangi, I can see my lecturer. Oh, Toro, great. It's a great meeting. I'll be supported. I can see Nyaluo.
I can see.
There are so many.
Wow.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. We are going to move faster. I think I can share my slides. We have been sharing on family enrichment. And to those who are not here in the previous presentation, I'm a mother of 5 biological adult children, a mother-in-law of 3, expecting the 4th one very soon. I have 5 adult children, youngest 28, eldest 37. I have 5 grandchildren, 3 girls, 2 boys, age 7 to 9 months, 7 years, 9 months. I'm a married woman to 1 husband, 1 male husband, Ouko, who is also in the meeting. And I had some time and give him time just to wave. He's also in the meeting. Baba wants to remain secret. We'll allow his interest. I'm a Christian. I'm a counselor psychologist and a married family therapist, a student still in class. I turned 59 on 1st.
Yes, ma'am.
Herbert is my son. He's my 3rd born son. I can see him there. Great. I'll give them time maybe towards the end of the session when they're all in, just to unmute their cameras and you see their faces. I've been in marriage for 40 years by God's grace. I turned 40 in marriage last year, November. It was a very, very big celebration, which was marked with another ring in the church. My parents came and I was officially again handed over for the next 40 years again in marriage. 40 plus 40, you can imagine how far we are going. Now, back to our business here.
Who's having it in her?
I want to share my slides so that I can move faster. Today is a Q&A sessions. I take responsibility for my network, which failed us in the previous presentation. I take responsibility for that. I left everyone hanging, but I thank God I'm done with my presentation. So there was a need for questions. There was a need for recap for this topic, and that's what I'm here for today. I hope your questions will be given to Rosette, who is my counterpart here, so that if need be, then it will be audible by the permission of the host. Can you people see my slides? Celestine, welcome. Asena, thank you. Those are my dear sisters in church. Can you people get me? Rosette?
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you clearly well and we can see the screen.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So that is just marriage and family. And what is marriage? That is about the speaker. That is me, Rose. And I worked for Kenya Airports Authority for 29 years. And I learned a lot of human behavior in the organization, which actually was influenced basically from home, the family, and family, work and life are so much related. I learned a lot. I was in the management for 29 years. And after retiring, I built my capacity in this field. Now, what's family? I think all of us, we know what family is. You can be seeing the screen so that we move faster. This is a union, and I'm going to talk about the heterosexual family, that is marriage. I'm going to talk about heterosexual marriage. That's a relationship marriage between a man and a woman. Marriage between a man and a woman. That's what I'm going to talk about. A female and a male intimate union. They become complementing partners. They are two consenting adults mutually in mutual agreement, basically to meet each other's need. That's what brings people together for marriage. And again, what is family? Family is any social unit of two or more people related by blood, by marriage, adoption, or shared commitment. So marriage and family enrichment is an approach involving research, education, and counseling to support marriages and families. Why is this important? It's very important because marriage is not just something you can start talking about without doing research. As a Christian, I do my research through the Bible. I do my research through life experience. I do my research also through academic field. And when this material is, after getting this material through scientific test, then you now communicate it to the families or to the married partners. And now what I do, my current work or profession of counseling and psychology more so in the marriage and family therapy, you now support. You now in counseling, we do what is called support. It's a support discipline or a support profession for people who are married or for family members. The family is seen as a field. You know, family is seen as a field. And this field of a family, this field is like a garden. And in the garden, you might have plots. So in a big garden, you can have plots. And these plots are the units. They are the individuals in a family. And individuals are unique. Every human being in the family is unique. And the uniqueness is what actually affects individuals' life. So the need for family enrichment is very, very important because family is the foundation of the human society, be it the religious groups, or even the society and the community at large. Family is the foundation of everything. And when families, which have started through marriage, are not functioning, then you'll realize that even the biological family or the social family, which could be of different interest or setups, will also dysfunction. So we have the key concepts to improve our marital relationship. Why do I go to marriage and why marriage and family? According to the human race, as a Christian, I know marriage originated from divinity, from God. And therefore, families come out or are generated or are reproduced from marriages. And therefore, it's very important to have healthy marriages. And when we have these healthy marriages, then families will be well supported, children will be well nurtured. So many things will have good space. So we have the key concepts for improving marital relationship. And these key concepts you can improve your marriage. Remember, this topic is about family enrichment. People who are in a marital relationship can improve, can work on their relationship. The foundation of every family is the union of the caregivers. Like in a family, a human family or a biological family, you'll find that it is between a husband and a wife. When you go to the organizations and such kind of things, it is the management. But let us concentrate on this family of biological family. So the two people who are married need to work on their relationship. One, they need to have friendship. Remember, it is love that brings you together with this man or woman. It could be affection or whatever it is. Or it could be maybe the material wealth or whatever it is. But whatever moves you to this relationship may not work for you, while you are already in this relationship. Reason, it is a real life experience. It is not a one-day meeting. It is a lifetime meeting, reunion. And people come together because of shared life, share their life. So in marital life or in marital relationship, the first principle that we should know is that married people need to be friends. And friendship is win-win. That is what it is about. No superiority, no intimidation, no such kind of things. And how can you improve your friendship? By enhancing your love maps. Okay, you can go through those lines. I may not say everything because of time. By enhancing your love map, by nurturing fondness and admiration, by turning towards each other rather than away. Reason, why should we? This is a very important key point in marriage or marital relationship. When calamities strike, let me talk about this turning towards each other as a point of improving your friendship. When calamities come in a relationship, like sickness, lack of a child, joblessness, or other things which would strike, or maybe losses, loss of property and such kind of things, even loss of body parts, you'll realize that now one partner might have plan B, and this plan B will actually frustrate the relationship. So improve your friendship by turning towards rather than turning away, connecting with your spouse during challenging time and responding favorably to their needs, attention, affection, humor, and such kind of things. So avoid, another point is like avoid stonewalling, and this is very important, or sulking. For friendship to continue, we need to avoid such kind of things when there's a conflict. So it's also important to accept the influence of your partner. Sometimes people have unnecessary arguments in these relationships. And these arguments, they really frustrate the efforts. Remember, you are coming from different backgrounds. And these backgrounds, everyone was brought up in by different parents, environments, different traits and the same. So when people come together in marital relationship, then you need to accept positive influence, and that will only happen when you have nurtured your friendship. So we also have like connecting. When conflicts come, you should also know how to work through your conflicts and how you can solve your problems. How can married people do this? There are problems which are solvable, which you can work on. And we shall share this slide so that I can move faster. You can also overcome gridlocks. So there's a very important point here, like repair attempts. What is repair attempts? Most people are very poor in communication. Most people are very, very poor in communication. They start the other way around. Most of us, most of people in marriage or humanly, we can do well outside in a social life outside, but you realize that communication between partners is always very, very challenging. While it is the milieu or the foundation of marital relationship, people who are good in communication make a very good milestone, even when they have conflicts or when they have problems. They are humble, they are kind, they are considerate. They consider their partners. So, sorry, my light has gone. Okay, it's back. So repairing attempts is like you learn to make a soothing oneself and one's partner, compromising and tolerating faults. When someone talks negatively and you hit negatively, then it's like you are fueling the conflict. So there's also overcoming gridlocks. When you have gridlocks at a point whereby you can't move forward, you can't move backward. Now, at that point, you need to be supported. So what is required during gridlocks is just to be motivated, motivate your partner, encourage or soothe when there are gridlocks. So when there are conflicts and you reach a gridlock, then I think you can take a break and say we shall check on it later or seek for help, calmly and respectfully. So there's this personal growth. Before you married this man or this woman, everyone had a goal in life. Some people have frustrated their partner's goals so much that they feel insecure. So it's good to support your partner's life dream. Last time I shared a lot about my life dream, which I may not repeat now. That link is available for that presentation. You can listen to it later. So there's this creating shared meaning. Shared meaning is to develop a spiritual dimension in the relationship. Supposing you get married, and what were responsibilities? Maybe you have brought up children like me now with my husband. We are now with our empty nest, and we are now back together. We are starting again. So what would keep us together is very important. If it was money, now we are both retired citizens. We see each other almost first person, the course of the day, evening, we are always seeing each other, and we are just the two of us. So what is our shared meaning? What is keeping us? What is making us to continue in this relationship? That is very, very important. So it's good. Trust and commitment are the pillars of a healthy spousal relationship. Now, key concept 2, there's this horseman. It is the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. This is the relationship ending communication style. There are things between partners, married people, which act like horses in a relationship. They really frustrate, they really tear apart people who came together in love. One of them is criticism. Yeah, criticism is just attacking the character of your partner. Yeah, another one is contempt. It's like you carry the moral glory. Yeah, when you attack, when you treat your partner contemptuously, you frustrate, you demean, and you handle that person as very worthless. Yeah, if you ridicule, you can even use body language. Sometimes people treat their spouses with contempt because of maybe things they have achieved in life. Yeah, when it comes now to your husband, men would treat their wives like this because maybe someone moved to your home, maybe your masculinity. And women might do the same because of who they think they are, their space. Maybe they are earning much more, or they feel they are well-built or beautiful, or some other things. So, or maybe comparing this man with other men. So contempt is bad. Remember, this man, this woman is you. Defensiveness, which is a reaction to criticism. Yeah, not wanting to take responsibility, and also standing on what we believe is right. And when we become defensive, we come off. We lack being responsible for the problem at hand. So we also have this defensiveness indicates anger for excuse, just defend. It is a reaction. It's also a reaction towards emotions. Yes, I think Rosette understands it better. So the fourth horse is stonewalling. Stonewalling, a response to contempt. You just decide to discontinue, to disconnect, yeah, for whatever. And at this point, you really realize that the person stonewalling in this relationship must be going through a lot of psychological burden. So there's so much going on, you just disconnect. And sometimes maybe your spouse might say, you are despising me, you are, like in Kiswahili we say umenidharau. But someone may not know how to handle himself or herself. So these four horsemen, criticism stands like for conqueror. When you criticize, you think you are a conqueror. You are a conqueror, you are the great person in this relationship. When you treat with contempt, it's like hunger. In anger, lack of food, you contempt, it's like you have everything. Defensiveness, you become like you are warring, you are a warrior. And then when you stonewall, you just come down like death. So when you read Revelation chapter 6, people who love the Bible, you can get that part from there. So how can we build our relationship? 5 love language, word of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, act of services. Your partner may not be interested in all this. So discover which one works best for your partner. Some people, when you give them a word of affirmation, they will not even respond. They will not even say anything. It's like they'll tell you are fooling me. So having quality time, someone might say, you want me to be a padlock in this door, or on your door. But your spouse just wants quality time with you. But you realize some people, even in this marriage, still go out to hang with friends. You go out to hang with friends, ladies do it, men do it, and you don't have time for your partner. That may not mean that in the market, in the toilet, everywhere you are together, but you can see the picture which is there. You can see that image, just having time together. Someone you love, you'll always want to have time together with this person. I was so glad when I saw one of my sons having an outing just last week. I mean, I will not say who he or she, who he is, because he's here, I imagine, and the wife is here, I imagine. I was so glad when I saw they sent me the picture. I was so grateful. Yeah, and this, I said, these people are building their love language, quality time together, receiving gifts. Yeah, it's important also to give gifts. We should not only give gifts to the weddings of other people's children, and we forget our own. Acts of service. Like me, I enjoy that one so much. When I'm physically supported, I like that. Kind of service, just someone helping me to get where my lasso is, where did I put my ID, which bag should I use today? And I want to applaud my husband for that. He does that very well, and that's his strength. Another one is parenting style. Why am I talking about this? This is something very, very important. The way we have been parented can affect our marital relationship. This is very important. So now that you are married and you are getting children, which kind of parenting style do you take or do you apply? Sometimes we blend them, but which one is coming out very strongly? Most of the time, we refer to the way we were parented. Most of us in my age, and maybe our children, we were parented by parents who are authoritarians, very strict, unexplained rules, and just one-way communication. We were very well behaved. Some become very aggressive, some become very shy, and the kind of the thing. So parenting is very important from the family of origin. Another one is authoritative parenting style. I would say this is the best from the knowledge I've gained in counseling psychology and marriage and family. This would be the best. But again, where you the last point say that this style generally leads to the healthiest outcome, but requires patience and efforts from both parties, from the children and the parent. It is a collaboration whereby the parent should remain in his or her executive position. Remain in your executive position. Yeah, remain in executive position. As a parent, there's no day your child will parent you unless for things that we shall see later. Now, the 4 common parenting styles, we have seen them. The third one is permissive parenting style, warm but less nurturing, with minimum expectation, limited rules. Yeah, children are not guided well. The children always develop negative habits or such kind of things. The children relate to parents more like peers. I would encourage parents to maintain their executive position. At my age, 59, my mother turned 80 the other day. She is still my parent. I would not like to give her a space to be my peer in relationship, unless for things that are developing us. But when I start saying that now I'm an adult, a woman with grandchildren, a woman in her own home, now I can do what I want, which will bring a disgrace to my parents, may God forbid. At that age where my parents are, mother is, my dad is late, she may not even open her mouth to talk. She will look at things, and why most of the children who are born with parents who are aged, sometimes the parents become permissive and allow them to do whatever they do. The other one is an involved parenting style. Parents typically stay out of the way, giving children a lot of freedom. Such kind of parenting style are common to parents who are irresponsible, morally irresponsible, emotionally irresponsible, parents who don't work with their children in the journey of life. They would provide food, school fees, accommodation, pay rent, but they are uninvolved in the emotional, psychological, or development of a child. They are totally uninvolved. They might take their children to the swimming pool and the rest, but emotionally, their life back at home and their life, their space, they are actually uninvolved. So many struggle with emotional health, coping strategies, and social relationships. Such kind of children with uninvolved parents are like that. They can pick on anyone to be their child. They can pick anything at any time. These parents who are uninvolved, this parenting style can be this parenting style can be self-insufficient. So parents typically stay out of the way. giving children a lot of freedom. I remember there was a time I had a certain friend of mine saying that, telling the daughter through a phone that look for someone to take you for an outing. The daughter was studying in US. And I think she told the father that she's so lonely. And now the father was responding, get someone to take you out this weekend. Then if you look into the life of this man, he was actually an involved parent, unavailable, someone who you may not even understand whether he's married or not. So such kind of children suffer a lot. But the last point which I put there are times that we borrow from all this, but with a lot of care, remaining in your executive position. So there's something I brought here about, the child developmental stages. And this is something very, very important. It's talking about the development of a child, the psychological development of a child. The Freud and the Erikson theories are very, very important in the developmental stages of a child. I may not go through that. I'll take care of that another time. But let me say something here about Freud psychoanalytic assumption. So the development is driven by the sexuality. It focuses on a lot of pleasure and the thoughts that a child carry, the emotions and the memories and the thoughts that a child carry from childhood will really affect the child even in his marriage. And that is very important. Sometime like in my culture, in the Luo culture, those days back when we were growing, I remember my mother used to complain a lot that my father is giving me a lot of space. She could say that what kind of a girl that is always staying with the father, you need to be in the kitchen. And it was the Oedipus, that at a certain age, you realize that a child connects to the parent of the opposite sex more than the other one. So if the parent does not understand, then it becomes a very big problem. Like I was very close to my father. And that's something I developed over time. So Erikson theory is about the social interaction. So this social interaction is what is mostly applicable in the family. The development of an individual is actually from the development of an individual is more attached to the social space, and that is the family. We don't take our children to school to be developed. We don't take our children to church to be developed. Family is the foundation of the church or the religious groups. Family is the foundation of the society and the community. So that's why I'm so interested in the family. There are some points I'll put there, you can read for yourself. So the shared belief between these psychologists was that both Freud and Erikson agreed that personality develops in a series of stages. And these stages involve conflicts that have long-lasting effects on an individual's personality development. So children or human beings respond differently, but when parents are worrying, then the children lose. When parents or caregivers are worrying, then the caregivers do what? They lose. So family life cycle and the stages is very important. Family life cycle describes the emotional, social, moral, intelligence phase from childhood to retirement. And let me just check on something a bit. Let's go to the family life cycle. Family life cycle and the stages are very important, and each stage helps build new skills needed to navigate family life changes. Families evolve. Families evolve, meaning at my family level today, I face different challenges or conflicts compared to the family stage of my children, and also compared to the family stage of my mother. My mother is now 80. So in the family life cycle, each stage helps build next skill. Like when you can now see this picture here, this a child, a teenager, with what? With a grandparent. So each stage helps build new skills, and the derailment can occur due to severe losses, loss of job, loss of relationship, loss of affection, loss of health, so many things which can affect the family life cycle. So when you go to the stages of family, stage 1 and 2, the family of origin, the main task here is relationship with parents. Now that you have gotten into a relationship, you are married, God has blessed you with children, or maybe you are adopting, you are having children by adoption. What are the challenges? From childhood, you have been brought up by your parents through teenage. And one thing I would like to echo here is that how someone navigates teenage will carry the life of that person into adulthood. Because it is at teenage whereby you get things like fidelity, being responsible, being trustworthy, being confident of yourself. So at that stage of teenage, that's the reason the other day, teenage and young adults, the other day in Kenya, I was hearing Gen Zs, the Generation Zs, some of them were saying they don't fear bullets, they don't fear tear gas, the only thing they fear in their life is marriage. Some were saying like that. I could talk with them in the social media, you could hear such like things. In Kiswahili it says, sisi tunaogopa ndoa peke yake. We only fear marriage. All other things we don't fear. And this marriage, surely, it's something that has put most people off, but it is something that is workable. So marriage is for people who are ready to learn. Marriage is for people who are ready to be taught. Marriage is for people who are ready to humble. It is not for the proud. It is not for people who are cowards. It is for people who are courageous. Marriage works. It is for people who grow. So when you have grown to age maybe 20 to early adulthood, now you start seeking relationship. That is family stage 1. Relationships with the key task here is relationship with parents and siblings. You have finished education, and the derailment might be when families do not let go of their children. This is something I struggled with. When my first children were now in this stage, I had a lot of fear. Who are their friends? Now they are going to college. They are going out of school where the fence was around. They are going to places where they'll put on the way they want. They are going to places where no one is concerned, like in the universities. Yeah, it's them for them. It was my fear. But I thank God that I worked it out, and I sought for a lot of help from the support from people who had gone ahead of me. And above everything, as a Christian, my knees was my strength. My knee was my strength in prayer. And I had to accept that actually they're now going away. So stage 2 when they leave home, the key task is differentiation, how they move, now. They have to leave home, they have to establish identity, they have to get into relationships at 2035, intimacy, they get their identity in the kind of work they do. At that age, you'll realize when they meet their friends, they'll ask them, what are you doing these days? If the child or the young adult is not doing something substantial, they really feel frustrated. And that's where now they get into depression and being negatively aggressive, a lot of anxiety, and they feel like they're not worth. And sometimes it becomes difficult when these children fail to separate from parents. So the derailment here would be enmeshment. There are some families that would not even let their children go. Even when they have relationships, they don't want to see their friends in the compound. I remember one day my husband telling one of my sons, do you really have a friend? I've never seen anyone you have brought home here. Yeah. He wanted to know his social space. And again, bring someone here that you are serious with. So parents get disturbed. But this young adult, when you remain at home and the child wants to feed with the parents because of maybe joblessness or such kind of things, it is really frustrating to this child. So stage 3 is the premarital stage. This is a stage of selecting partners and getting married and now starting a family. So the main derailment here is couples issues. The issues of a couple starting life together is very difficult to settle. It's very difficult to set boundaries. Remember, you are friends. You are a friend to this man or to this lady. You are in love, but now you are coming to stay together. Responding to this pace is a challenge. And this is the stage whereby you'll hear a lot of suspicion among the couples. Some might live in denial, some might live in fear. You may not know, you may not even believe you are now a wife or a husband. So the next point, let me go back to this slide 15. Sorry, not slide 15, slide 16. So the stage 4 of family cycle is a childless couple. Whether you married a woman with children or grandchildren, or a man with children or grandchildren, when you start staying together the way that picture is, you are a childless couple. You are just starting. Those children might be a blended family, but you are still considered as a childless couple. And that's the reason you might see the people who are, that's the reason you might see even people who get married at an advanced age with children who might be adults or what, they still behave like adolescents. They still behave like young adults. They are still, the romance is still so much because it is a childless couple. They're just starting their life. Those children, they have come together within this relationship, like being a blended family or so, whichever. Those children is just a different group. They will come in their space later, but they behave like young people who have just gotten married, even if they are of my age. Yeah, so this develop a way of life together emotionally and practically. They are still developing a life of togetherness emotionally and practically. So they have a challenge with the families of origin to include the partner. They want to be themselves. I was witnessing a certain marriage where the lady was like 45 years and the man seemed to be almost 60. And the way they were handling themselves is just like the way I see young people handle themselves. So they would not even want someone in that space. And if you try to say something, you might be killed. You don't need to talk. Let them behave like young people who are starting their life. That is that stage. Family with the young children, now that is stage 5. Realigning family system to make space for children and the same. Derailment is challenges in balancing time, energy, and finances. Now children are here. Now you have that challenge. So when you have the adolescent children, you have to be very careful how you now handle your children who are now teenagers. Remember, we are following one person who was born from a family of origin. So when you look at this picture, you see now the grandparents here. I imagine there's a day I took my grandchildren to an outing with one of my daughters in love. This is how we were, but we are not with Baba. Dad had not gone with us. So you realize that now launching children, it needs also the support of the grandparents now coming in. So you resolve midlife issues and adjust to living as a couple again. When this stage comes, and that's the stage where I am now, your grandchildren are more precious to you than any other person under the sun. And your grandchildren give you life again. Because all along we have been with Mzee, the two of us. When these lives come, we now feel re-energized. And that's what we are seeing there. Deal with at this stage now, the parents of these children will now start dealing with the disability and death in the family of origin. I remember there was a time one of my sons was telling me that, Mom, now you need to have a private medical insurance. Then I asked him, why can't we just go to the government hospital? He said, no. Now the thing you need most is medical cover. And it is true. It is true. So what am I saying? The age at which our children are now, and I am in stage 7, they are now in stage 7, they are dealing with the challenges of parents. And at this stage, when you didn't navigate well in your early stage and your parents have reached stage 7, where I am now with my husband, 60s, 70s, you might be overwhelmed with midlife crisis. You have your children, maybe you are going back to school, you want to invest. The relationship between the couple might not be so much emotional. It's more of responsibility. But in this space, remember that you still have a family and a spouse to take care of. And not forgetting the parents. Going to stage 8, the later family life. The key task here is coping with the physical and mental decline, valuing wisdom, and preparing for death. That is the stage I'm looking ahead for, adjusting to dependency on adult children and the loss of loved ones. What happens? Imagine you are not there, you did a poor parenting. During your early stage, like stage 4, you are not a good parent. You are not there for your children. You didn't support your children emotionally. You didn't build a relationship with your children. You didn't mind about them. You are up and about. Now this stage has come. In fact, you will hear some men say that you have conspired with your children. They are not taking care of me. This woman is a wrong number. Then you ask yourself, where were you in the early stage of life? This is now at age 70 going on. Where were you? Because now the children have taken over. Did you take care of their emotions? Were you there in their space? Did you love their father or their mother? Even a mother might run away at a certain age. I've witnessed men remaining with children and taking care of their children, single parents. Then someone, your partner, decides to come back in a later stage of life. It is really derailing emotionally and socially. So at this stage 7 and 8 is when you will know the kind of parenting you did. Last but not least, importance of family life cycle. It's very important to know, to understand really what I'm talking about. Mastering family life cycle stages will help you to success in mastering the skills and milestones of each stage, allows for effective progress through life phases. It's good to understand these stages from that age of young adult until you reach a stage of parenting your children and going forward to the stage 8 of your life. In this meeting, we are people at different stages, but the beauty is at whatever stage you are, you can still learn the next stage, navigate, and make friendship. You can still reparent yourself if your parents you feel did not take care of you well, and you are seeing some of the effects in your emotions, in your social life, with people outside or with your spouse, you can still reparent yourself. Help is available. And that's why we are here like psychologists, counselors. And when it comes to counseling, we have faith counselors, we have psychological counselors, marriage and family therapists. Help is available. Previously, you could get a woman like my daughter is here, Yvonne. She would stay with us at home and I could teach her so many things. But now they stay away from even her own parents. Maybe she went to school and she didn't have time to stay with the grandparents to teach her most of the things. This now whereby the church, the faith comes in, psychologists come in, yani you allow mentorship in your life. You allow support, you allow help. Another reason is failure to master skills may lead to relationship issues and future transitional challenges. If we don't master these stages, like now, my first and last child have a stage age difference of 9 years, and they are 5. They grew up like a bunch. So there was a lot of movement in the family. Before you handle this one, another one is showing up. Before you handle this one, another one is showing up. Because the age difference between the 5 boys is only 9 years, first and last. So it was real work. It was real work. But I thank God I can reparent. Today, I have the knowledge. I can share, and this is what I'm doing with people in this space. So health issues, health benefits of successful transition. When you transit well in these stages, you will be healthy spiritually, in your mind, mental health. You'll be healthy in your social life. You'll be more relevant in your old age. You'll not live miserably. But as I've said, you can still reparent yourself at whatever stage of life. I'm doing it and you can do it. So another point here is you can only change if your environment cannot change, then you can, if your environment cannot change, then you can change your approach. There are times that children or family members may not give you space, they may not understand you, because everyone is individual, and one person can be a character of one person in a family might be a representative of the dysfunctionality of that family. Children present differently. There are some who would opt to go into drugs and some antisocial behaviors. Before you condemn that child in a family, then that child could be a representative of the sickness in the family. the dysfunctionality in the family. So if you cannot change your environment, choose the best option to navigate. And that would be change yourself, change the way you respond. Help is available. So that you can maintain your health, because when it reaches such kind of stage 6, 7, 8 of family life cycle, then these children will have gone and will remain with your spouse or alone. Your spouse might have died, might have been dead. So impact on personal identity. Another importance of family cycle is impact on personal identity. Experiences in the family life cycle affect your self-esteem, self-worth, and self-image. This is shaping who you are and who you will become. Most of us, we are a product of our families. Impact on personal identity, understanding challenges, all that are advantages. So disruption in family life cycle, the impacts of stress and life crises. Most of the mental challenges, the mental issues that people have, let me borrow a bit from that, are as a result of family functionality. Either it is functional or it is dysfunctional. There's this theorist called Carl. Carl was a psychiatrist, and Carl realized that whenever he could discharge a patient from psychiatric unit, he could discharge a patient in a better state. When they go back home, after a short while, they come back more miserable. So he realized that the problem was at home. So that is very true. When we have healthy transitions and healthy relationship, even our mental wellness can be very, very good. Conclusion. The conclusion here is that the dynamics of human development and relationship, the development of health and stable marriages and family system is a key factor in ensuring social and mental health. The development of a healthy and stable marriage and family system is a key factor in ensuring social, mental health. Essential factors for successful relationships include friendship, fondness, appreciation. Trust and commitment is very important in developing a healthy family or a healthy marriage. Psychological and emotional support is very important. When people start saying that, maybe like your husband tells you that, I don't think you deserve to be here, and you said, okay, you can go where you want. That thing is deeper than just the way you are talking. You need help. Guiding couples to enhance intimacy. The resource functions as a comprehensive guide to enhance emotional intimacy, navigate conflicts, foster meaningful shared experiences. These are very important things. Because of time, I'll not go deep into them. Importance of family system enrichment. That is now systems framework helps address emotional, behavioral, relational symptoms in individuals, couples, and families. Remember, every family member is a representative of the entire field. When a family member dysfunctions or is identified as a patient or someone with characters which are wanting, secretly, foundationally, in the deep place, that is a representative of a family. There are some families that people don't care. There are some families that you can do whatever you want. And when you come to such families which are critically enmeshed, you'll realize those families will be dysfunctional generation after generation. Thank you very much. God bless you. I've taken almost the whole time, but I won't forget to give time for questions. Thank you for your patience.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the presentation. I knew you couldn't cut it in between as much as we do have questions, but I would like to read something that one of the chats that have been sent by Job Malek. He said, "Thanks, Mam Rose. The first slides really touched on me, on my real life with my estranged wife. One thing I have to admit is that the family education should be in our daily diet." I believe I support that too. It should be in our daily diet. So thank you very much, Ma, for your time. We definitely do have questions, but then it means you'll not be able to touch many questions. But I think everything you said was important. And for those people who are not in the first session, which was on the 1st of September, it is on YouTube. I will send the link. And then this one will also be uploaded on YouTube also. As of me, most of the time after the Zoom sessions, I always go and watch it again the following day. And I not necessarily the following day, but I go and watch it on YouTube when I'm a little bit more relaxed. Then I can get more things better. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining. So let me acknowledge you first before we ask our questions. So there is Anjeri. Thank you very much for joining. We do have Angel Peniel joining from Malindi. Angel says, thank you very much for joining. We have Celestine Asena, not so sure where she's joining from. We do have Dorcas joining also. We do have Dorothy. We do have Edna. We have Ethel. For those who I know where they're joining from, that's where I'll mention. Ethel is my Cameroonian friend joining from Dubai. We do have Eunice joining, I'm sure, from Kenya. We have Faith Melody says, thank you very much. You made it. Wow, thank you. We have Florence joining from Ghana. I do have my brother, Papa Fritz, is joining from Dubai. We do have Jacqueline Maningo, and we do have Jacqueline Marisa joining from Dubai. We do have Jamila joining from the UK. Jess, you managed. Thank you very much, Sis, for joining. She's joining from the US. We do have Job Blamek. I'm sure he's joining from Kenya. We do have John Felix. Thank you very much for joining. My sister Joy Mwanje, thank you for being here, sis. We have Laura's iPhone. Thank you for joining. And she actually joined amongst the first people. Thank you for joining, Laura. And then we do have Liz. We have Mike Odwalo. We do have Millie. I assume it's my sister, my elder sister. Thank you very much, sis, for being here. We do have Purity Ngei. We do have Rosemary Gumba, Shakila Moses, Sherman Ouko. We do have Yvonne. At least you've been mentioned severally by Ma. It means Yvonne is our daughter-in-law, which is my sister, right? Okay, now you have a sister. Okay, so thank you very much, everyone, for joining. And I heard our daddy also is here. Mr. Ouko is also here. Daddy would love you to at least say hello once you get time after the questions. So I'll go straight to the questions. In case anyone has a question, please, you can raise your hand. There is a way you raise your hand on Zoom for me to know if you have a question. But then, Mom, one of the questions, one of our people wanted to ask, the person is not, she couldn't ask it herself. So she asked me to ask. She has been in her marriage for the last 12 years. And it has been a marriage where she has been hurt severally to an extent. She's a little bit, she is in her marriage, but she's a little bit distant. So she was asking if there could be a strategy or anything she could do to spark her marriage. Definitely she wants to stay in her marriage. And she actually, who has been the victim, who is being hurt now and then. So she was wondering if there is a strategy or anything she could do to spark her marriage, at least for her to feel back to, you know, by the time you told us about your story, there is that friendship which has been, her and her husband, they are friends, but they have been hurt over and over and over all through the marriage. So she's in that place where she is in the marriage, but she's a little bit disconnected, a little bit distanced, but she is definitely in the marriage. So is there any advice you could advise there?
Thank you. Thank you very much for that question. I don't know whether Frederick Osoro is in the call. Frederick Osoro, are you in, Mwalimu? Okay. Frederick, are you in? If he's not in, then I'll answer that. What is marriage? Maybe we can go back to that point. Marriage is not staying together in a common space. Marriage is a relationship. You can be common in the same space, but you are disconnected, as she's saying. Help is available, and it's good to seek help, because that's the reason why we are doing this, or why I'm having this presentation. No one can live in a city where you are not there physically. Okay? I won't say that I'm in Dubai, that I live in Dubai. I'll be a liar. So every stage of marriage you get into, you have never been there before. And this is why we have these stages of family. You have never been there before. You need to be mentored. You need to be supported. You need to get someone to work with you. It may not be beneficial just walking out, but it's good to seek for help. It works. I personally have been helped severally helped. And I remember I started teaching marriage life when I was 32 years old. Today I'm 59. I was doing it through the radio programs, Family Life. I was doing it conferences, but I didn't have skills. I'm a woman who loves prayer. I'm a Christian. I had the Bible, I could read, I could cry, but I needed someone to walk with me.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so for her case scenario, she actually needs professional assistance, right? Yes. So now I'll go back to the teaching that we had the last session when you started your story. Now, when I listened to your story, for those people who have not who are not in the first in the part 1, I would really advise you to go back to YouTube and watch it. It was amazing. Okay. So, Mama, you told us about your story, but when I look at your story, the reason why, if I am told to judge from my side, the reason why your marriage has been successful, the bigger part is that you have had a good support system. Now, it is very visible. We can see even your support system, even here. You're here, your daughters-in-law are here, your sons are here, your husband was here, you understand? There is good support system. So, and when you said, when you entered in your marriage, you were younger, okay? And then issues came in the marriage. But if I check, I remember what the story you gave us, your husband was really supportive for your marriage. I believe that was one of the strongest foundations that helped you. Even, you could even fight for your marriage when you have someone who is also supporting you. And that someone it can't just be anyone. When your husband is supporting you, I believe it makes it helps a very bigger part. Now, someone is in a relationship. Now I'm going to the second question that I was to ask. The second question is, someone is in the marriage, the person has been in the marriage for 5 years, but the husband is not that supportive. So because the husband is not supportive, the husband will not support. There is a part you say, not the love map. The other one you said, meaning, as in, it's as if you have things that, mention it, ma. Yes, that one, a meaning. So for them, they do not have
life meaning.
Life meaning. Okay. Yes. So for both of them, they do not have anything she claims they're friends. She says they are friends. So in the relationship, they are friends, but the husband never supports her to do the things she wants to do. Now, when we look at the aspect of personal growth, now her question was, how can he make the husband to support or to see things the way she sees it? I want to do A, B, and C. Because when we look at yours, if at all you could go back to school, you could work and you could go back to school when you're in your marriage, when you're having children and all that, definitely your husband was supporting it for you to go through that. Definitely your children were supporting it. So it means there is a support that has to come from the family. And now that is what she's not having. So most of the time she feels she's not having, even if outsiders will support, but the family in the house is not supporting. It's a little bit dicey situation. How would you advise such?
Thank you, Rosette. Thank you for that question. I don't know whether my husband is in call. Baba, are you around? Okay. If he's not willing to talk, Let me share him.
That is,
Yeah.
no, he's not there.
Ouko, Vincent.
No, he's not there.
Okay.
I think maybe the internet, the network is also acting. He was here. He was here though. He's not here.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for that. Let me say that no marriage is successful until it is worked on. No marriage is successful until it's worked on. Marriage is a work. It's a relationship. And I got married when I was 18 years. My Form 4 results came out when I was already married, meaning I didn't know what I was doing. At 18 years, you can't say you know what you're doing. You can't plan. We didn't plan. Is that one that the type that you find yourself in it? And when I realized that I was in it, I really used to cry because I was already even pregnant. There are so many things that happened which I can't say now. I won't deny that my husband has been supportive. He has been, yes, but not that easy. Even me, I've not been supportive. We have to work on ourselves. We have to work on ourselves. Our age difference is 10 years. And we have grown together. We lost our first 2 children. It was not easy. There was a time I was leaving that marriage. I have been someone who has been very sickly. There are times that I and my husband were put under pressure for my husband to marry a second wife. So in short, challenges in marriage are unique. People come from different backgrounds. Are you intentional to be in that relationship? Yes. Seek for help. Another thing in a marital relationship, the abuser will not always want help. The abusive partner will not always seek for help. He or she will thrash you and say that this marriage is for me and you. No one will come here to help us. It is our space. That is an abusive partner. What do? I can't say everything here. And that's why you need to seek for help. No marriage will work without being worked on. One day we stayed with our bishop or pastor in my house until 2 a.m. 2 a.m. Yeah. So as a Christian, a counselor, psychologist, a marriage and family therapist, the only thing I would share on the screen is that seek for help. No marriage will work until it is worked on. The people you are seeing in the forum, I can see my friend, a longtime friend, Rosemary Gumba. Yeah, Rosemary. I can see Rosemary here. I can see so many of my people here. They understand me. They know some of these things, that marriage will never work until it's worked on. If I had not worked on my marriage, if my husband had not worked on our relationship, which, take note of this, the abusive partner will never, ever want a third person to come in this relationship. The reason why people fear counseling is because they feel vulnerable. Yeah, they feel vulnerable. They imagine they will be exposed. They want to remain in that status quo. So break the camp. Is that enough for today?
Yes. That's very much enough. But then now this is a question I am the one asking. Okay. So Mama, when you started there is the love map. You taught us about the love map. Now in the love map, you told us it is advisable to share and to understand, okay, it will be within the couple, your fears, your worries, your secrets, your, everything you need to share, right? And you even gave an example that even if you're a devil worshiper, make sure the other party knows that you're a devil worshiper. Now, this I'm talking out of my experiences and what I've learned. There are things that you will say about yourself, and it will be held against you all through the relationship. As in, because you said, now let's assume you said you're a devil worshiper. So when you do anything in the relationship, there's something you'll do like this. No wonder you're a devil worshiper. Okay. It will be used against you. Is there a particular line where there, okay, as much as you're sharing, because I've had people say sometimes you share, but you're sharing too much. So is there a particular line where in a couple, when you know very well you're intending to get married, there are things you should just keep to yourself?
True. Yes.
Okay.
As a therapist, as a professional, I advocate for premarital counseling. For people who are in the call and are not yet married, it's good to go for that. Premarital counseling may not be a sermon. It may not be preaching for those of us who are of faith. It is sitting with a professional and then sharing up to what you would wish your partner to know. Share what you are comfortable with sharing. Leave the rest to yourself. 2, it's normal to be victimized. I remember I said in my parting shot that in a relationship or in a family, you cannot change your vicinity others. You cannot change your environment. If you have tried and it has not worked, then change the approach. Meaning, change from yourself. Change the approach. Every person is individual. You can change your approach. There's a story of a woman who had a problem with her husband. She went to seek help from a witch. What the witch doctor told her, that I'm giving you medicine in a bottle. It was water. So she was told, when you get in the house, before he comes, just sweep water and don't swallow. Such that when he comes and he starts with his usual noise or sulking, you maintain that water in your mouth. Do you think if you maintain water in your mouth, you will talk? You will fight back? That was just taking the approach. So witches are sometimes cleverer than us. Yeah. So this man was amused. He didn't know what's happening now. This woman never answers back the way she used to. There's something happening. And it went on like that. And then she was told, this dust, put a little in the food and share the plate with him or sit next to him. It will enhance your love. She used to sit in the kitchen because she was withdrawn. She used to weep. Yeah. She was isolated. She could eat or tell the husband, me, I'm not ready to just eat. She could eat earlier so that when the husband comes back home, she doesn't share his space. Because this man was a drunkard. So she could now wait for the husband to come. Psychology. Yeah. So share what you're comfortable to share.
Wow, that's amazing. At least I got my answer. So if anyone has a question, we can take only one last question. Anyone has a question, you can just type the question. And I can see some people joining. I don't know why people like joining late, but then I guess it's an African thing. So let me acknowledge everyone who has joined. While if you have a question, please write it on the chat box. Okay, I'd love to acknowledge those who have joined. We do have Angel Peniel joining from Malindi, Ann Jerry, Karibu Sana, Celestina, Asena, D/Wycliffe, and then we do have Dismas, we do have Dorcas Opot, we do have Doreen, Dorothy Osemo, we have Edna, we have Elizabeth, we have Ethel, at least Ethel is my sister. I know she's joining from Dubai. Eunice Hitot. We have Faith Fifi. Faith is my sister also joining from Dubai. Faith Melody joining from Dubai. Florence joining from Ghana. Fritz joining from Dubai. We have Gabriel Agufa. We have Grace Asiko, Grace Martin, Jackie Marie joining from Dubai. Jemima Nyakongo. We do have Job Malek. We do have John Felix, Joy Mwanje joining from Nairobi. We do have Laura's iPhone. We have Liz. We have Lynn. We have Mary A. Michael Odwalo. We do have Millie. Millie is my sister joining from Nairobi. We do have Nancy Lila. We have Nila Ochieng, Rosemary Gumba. I guess, Ma, this is your friend, Rosemary Gumba.
Yes.
Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome, Mommy's friend. Okay, then we have Sania Moses, Sania Teresa. We have Shakila Moses. We have Sylvia Waweru, Victoria Wairimo, and we have Yvonne Mukono, their daughter-in-law. So all of you are welcome. It is good to have you here. We've had a long session already. It has been an hour. Mommy has been speaking to us. And in case someone has a question, we can take only one last question. I believe everything has been clear. And by the look of things, what I'm understanding more, Mommy is a therapist. So therapist, there is one rule, confidentiality. So that's why there are most of the things that she can't share. This is a social media. It will be on YouTube. So there are things she cannot share. So in case you do have issues with your family or your marriages, Mommy is a counseling psychologist and a family therapist. And the funniest thing is her packages are very much affordable. If you are in Kenya or even if you're in Dubai, she does online also. You can just contact her. Please contact. You can go through me. I can give you her number. Please contact her if you need any settlement in your families and marriages. Okay. So while we wait for the last question, Mom, you know, today what I've learned, you've just made me understand. There is this woman we had in my estate. I'm sure my sister will remember. Joy, I'm sure you'll remember this story, and my elder sister, Millie. There is this woman, we've grown together in the same area. And then of course, she's my mother's age and all that. But then later on, some years back, I think it was like 6 years ago. And then he got a boyfriend. So she's an elderly woman, right? So she got a boyfriend. And do you know, even the lovey-dovey that young people do, she was doing more than that. And we couldn't understand, you know? We were wondering, how could you do that? We were feeling as if it's disrespectful. But now you've made me understand that so long as it is considered a childless marriage, when the relationship is starting, even if it's from blended, people had kids separately and all that. Joy, do you remember? Please write something on the comment section. Don't make me look like a liar. We were actually wondering, why would this woman behave like this? And the sons were so angry. In fact, at some point, there is one day, one of the sons, now the sons are our age mates, right? So one of the sons went and bombarded because the mother had to move out from their house. And then she went to live with a boyfriend, not very far, somewhere around. So there is one day the son had to go and bombard where they were. And he went and it was chaos. The son was even like fighting with that guy. You know, so now I understand it was just love. Love was just doing love. Okay. So anyone has a question? I'm more of a storyteller. So if you entertain my stories, we'll stay here. Okay. So someone has written, and Jerry has a question. She has written, what if the marriage partner is unwilling to get help? E.g., a violent alcoholic who says he has no problem? Mommy, have you had that?
Yes, I'm so glad this meeting is very rich. I have my mentor here, Dismas Nyangute. Can you respond to that? That is my lecturer who taught me diploma, undergraduate, pushed me for masters. He's my mentor. Mwalimu Dismas, can you respond to that? Just unmute your video and wave and respond to that kindly.
Mwalimu, you can unmute.
Okay, I can pick from there. I'm seeing his writings on the chat. Alcoholic or
Okay. Okay, Mommy, let me read. It's okay. So what is he has written? He has written the single ladies has issues with marriage more than the married. Okay, I think he's still writing.
Okay, let me talk.
Okay,
We'll
okay.
get it from him when he's ready.
Yes, okay.
This lady is the one. I said something that in marriage and family dysfunctionality, the identified patient, we use that terminology in psychology, the one who seemed to be having a problem would be a representative of the whole field. Alcoholism or substance use is used for the defense or for coping mechanisms. So the husband is using that for coping mechanisms. He has underlying issues. Leaving him or running away may not help him. So this lady in the call or in the meeting need to get extra support. How maybe more can be known in the support.
Okay.
Yeah, there are things we cannot talk here, but I would also request her to understand, and everyone else, that substance use is a means of defense and coping mechanism for underlying issues. And at what age did this man start using this? At what stage of life? Or marriage cycle, family cycle. Another thing, alcoholism is a disease. Addiction is a disease of the brain. Yeah. So the rest we may not share here.
Okay. Okay, sis, you can go ahead.
Sorry. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you very well.
So I wanted to ask Mom, how do you handle a man who is quick in criticizing, but when you do something good, he cannot appreciate you one-on-one? He'll use a text message. How do you handle that?
It's even good that he uses a text message. Some would not. Some would even slam you. Some would not. Yes.
Okay.
Criticism, I talked about the 4 horses, the 4 horsemen. Criticism, content, defense, stonewalling. I talked about those 4 horses. So these are things that frustrate relationship. But I want to appreciate your man that he can even send a text. Some would not. Even some women would not. Remote control.
Okay.
Okay, so in short, Mom, what you're trying to say, the lady, she should appreciate the fact that at least the guy can, so she should find a way of taking it as in appreciating at least at least he has done something, right? Yes, but then if I would want to ask the same, if someone is bold enough to criticize, it means the person should be bold enough to also do the other. Then it means the other part, the appreciation part, he's doing it intentionally, not to say it, because he should be bold enough to do it, right? I should guess that is. I think that is why the person is wondering, how comes you're bold enough to criticize? How comes you're not bold enough to appreciate?
Yes.
Right. Yes.
Also, I think it is the ego. Yeah, it's the ego.
Okay.
Yeah. So work on your side. In the presentation, I said that if you can't change your environment, change your response.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So you've got a question. So someone, okay. Okay, we have someone who would like to add something. Oh, okay. Dismas was Ma. You think you still have time because your lecturer, Mr. Dismas, says I'm ready here for the question.
It's okay, Mwalimu. I can't deny you that.
Okay. Okay, Mwalimu, go ahead.
Senior.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Evening.
Okay. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Ross. Let me start by saying that this is the way to go as far as marriage is concerned. And, just as listening to the concerns that come from the participants who are majorly ladies, I think this is something that says something a lot as far as marriage is concerned. And number one is that, ladies are always good in as far as seeking answers are concerned, looking for help. And even as you someone talked about, this guy who is, always criticizing and, will always text. The response was so good that it is good enough that he is responding through texts. And to me, this is the power of premarital counseling, that most of the things can be captured. Most of the red flags in marriage can actually be captured and arrested and worked on at a premarital counseling level. And therefore, I would, on top of what the marriage counselor, marriage and family counselor specialist has talked about, I would really want to emphasize, and all of us to emphasize on premarital counseling. And for those who are past that, always let's go out seeking for help. Let's talk about our marriages with people who are trained, the specialists in marriage and family issues. It's good enough. I would say that people like Madam here are actually God sent, because most of the time we talk about serious issues affecting our marriage with people who are going through even major issues than ours. So thank you so much, Madam, for showing us where to get help. And I want to assure us that most of the issues in facing marriages can actually be fixed professionally. And of course, marital issues are not spiritual matters and can be appropriately dealt with and addressed by psychologists here, like Madame Rose. Thank you so much. I'm also equally a storyteller, but let me put a full stop on that. Thank you so much for the opportunity to say something.
Thank you very much, Mwalimu. Thank you very much, my fellow storyteller. Thank you very much. That was nice. Okay, so we do have a lady here, one of my sisters, Faith. Faith says, can I say something? Okay, Faith, just go ahead. Joy, clap, so it means at least you got her answer. One thing we need to, by now it is very clear, most of the things, every issues we are having are unique to every relationship. And most of the things cannot be said, especially when it's an expert, because of confidentiality and the rules of engagement. Okay, so the things when they say it can be handled by a professional, it's because it is something that should be said to the person, between the person, and this session will go to the social media. So there are things you wouldn't want to be out there. Okay. So otherwise, thank you very much, everyone, for joining. Let's hear what Faith has to say. Mama, we won't waste much of your time. We have 2 minutes or so, and then we close. Okay. Yes, Faith, go ahead.
No, mine is already answered. It's fine. I was going to say something earlier, but it's okay. I will leave it at that.
Okay. Okay, then if it's answered already. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so if a question is answered already, for the last time, I just want to appreciate everyone who joined. Thank you very much. My name is Rosette. I am a Kenyan, obviously. I'm Kenyan, and I live in Dubai. And I started the Zoom session. It is I started an initiative called Hope4Hopes initiative. The initiative was actually to promote and normalize that it is okay not to be okay, and to further create a safe space for individuals to resonate with success stories from professionals through self-conscious awareness and education. So that's how I started the Zoom sessions. We've been inviting people from all over the countries. And then just recently, I was introduced to my mama, Mami Rose, and that is how we ended up having our first session on the 1st of September. And this was a Q&A session. And Mama, you see how important it is. As a matter of fact, this is the Zoom session that I've had the most attendees. English is not my first language, okay? So this is the first session that we've had the most attendees. Thank you very much, Mommy's family. You're a good support. Thank you. God bless you. I'm even praying for you. Thank you very much. And everyone else who joined, thank you very much. I will just appreciate you for the last time. We do have Nila Ochieng, and then we have our mommy, of course, the speaker. We have Angel Peniels from Malindi. We have Beatrice. Thank you very much for joining, the one joining from Malindi. Thank you very much. You've been consistent. I love you. Okay, we do have Beatrice, and then we do have Beatrice Anyango. We have Celestina Aseno. We have Dan. We have D and Wycliffe. We have Mwalimu Dismas. Thank you very much, sir, for your engagement too. We do have Dorcas support. We do have Doreen, Dorothy Seymour, Edna, Ethel. Sherry, thank you very much for staying through until the end. We have Eunice Hetot. We have Faith Fifi. She has just joined in from work. Thank you very much, Sis. We have Faith Melody. Thank you very much. Papa Fritz, thank you for joining. You're obviously at work. Thank you. We have Grace Asiko. We have Jackie Marie. Thank you very much, Sis. We have Jamila joining from the UK. She's actually in a different place. Sis Jamila, I know you couldn't talk. I'm so sorry, but it is okay. It is good to have you here. Okay, and then we have Jane/Rudy. I guess these are couples. Okay. Okay, and then we have Jemima Jakongo, we have Job Malek, we have John Felix, and we have my sister Joy Mwanje, Laura's iPhone. Thank you very much for being there from the beginning. That's an hour and a half. Wow, wow, kudos to you. And then we do have Liz. Sis Liz, I hope you got an answer for your question. And then for more of it, I think you can contact Mami Rose. I can give the contacts later. And then we do have Liz Favor, we do have Lynn, we have Mary A, we have Mike Odwalo, we have Nancy Laila, we have Nyata, we have Nyemba, Rosemary Gumba, Mommy's friend. We do have Rose, we do have Tanya Teresa, Shakila Moses, Victoria, and Yvonne Mukono, the daughter-in-law. Okay, so thank you very much, everyone, for joining. It was good to have all of you. I appreciate you for being here. So we usually have one session per month, but for this session, since we had the first one on the 1st of September, and Mommy was logged out due to the network, so we had to have a Q&A today. And that's why we've had 2 sessions within the same month. Otherwise, we normally have it once a month. I do have a social media group. I do have a WhatsApp group. In case you're interested to join, you can just leave your number there. Please make sure you put your country code and then your name, your number with the country code, and then I'll add you in the group. Otherwise, apart from that, I normally post it on my status and post on my social media groups. And that was more of it. Mommy, I don't know how to thank you enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you very much. God bless you. And those, as I said before, in case you would love some therapy, therapy is not bad. You know, some at the back of our mind, most of the time we have the mentality that people go to therapy when they're mad. no therapy. In fact, this is family therapy. If you have an issue with your marriage or with your family, and sometimes you don't have an issue, you just want guidance here and there. We do have our mommy. She does online and in-person sessions. And in case you're interested, and her packages are very much affordable. She is based in Kisumu, right?
Yeah.
She's based in Kisumu, but she can be all over. Nowadays, we have social media, we have internet, so you can be online everywhere. So you can contact her. If you want to be added in the group, just leave your number. And if you need Ma's number, please let me know. Let me drop it there. Otherwise, thank you very much. I love you. My name is Rosette. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Ciao,
Thank
ciao.
you,
We're
Rosette.
to an end. Yes. Mama, you
Yeah.
have anything to close? You have anything to
Yes,
close?
yes, yes.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm so grateful. Allow me to just see the faces of my family members from Teresa,
Okay.
Yvonne, Martin, Shama, blah, 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 and those ones. So just unmute and
Yes.
those
Let
are
me see my pieces. Okay.
Teresa, Yvonne, Shama, Dr. Martin, the rest. Just unmute and wave.
Yes. Mama, you're giving them pressure.
Put your cameras on. We want to see you. Dorothy, thank you. Dorothy.
Okay, that's Dorothy. Hi,
Pastor
Dorothy.
Dorothy, thank you. If you
Hello.
don't want us to, okay, I'm seeing Yvonne. Yvonne is there. Thank you, daughter. Where is Teresa? Where's Shama? Thank you. Just wave. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's my daughter-in-law. Yes. Yvonne. Daktari. Okay, maybe some have gone. Some are going to work.
Okay, of course.
Yeah, I want to appreciate everyone. Thank you, Celestine. Thank you, Rosemary. Thank you, all the rest. Thank you, Mwalimu Dismas, my mentor. He really used to work on me while I was in class. Today, he did a good job. So when he says it is not spiritual, really, even God knows marriage is not only spiritual. It is the mind, the soul, and the body. Adam said, the bone of my bone, the flesh of my flesh. Yeah. So we are here. Thank you so much. I'm grateful. God bless everyone. Let's meet again.
Okay, so say goodbye. Say goodbye to everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Having this Zoom meeting.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Jane, you want to say bye? Yes?
Thank you.
Thank you for joining my closet. Bye. I hope you have a good time.
Okay. Say. Say bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. See you. See you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, bye everyone.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Thank
so
you
we
so
are
much.
doing this one.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.